And hello and welcome to News On. Happy Friday to you. I'm Miranda and thank you so much for joining us. The Republican National Convention, the first televised political convention ever held at the White House, ended with a bang.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Friends, delegates, and distinguished guests, please. I stand before you tonight, honored by your support, proud of the extraordinary progress we have made together over the last 4 incredible years, and brimming with confidence in the bright future we will build for America over the next 4 years. My fellow Americans, tonight, with a heart full of gratitude and boundless optimism, I profoundly accept this nomination for President of the United States.
President Donald Trump front and center there with a plea to voters to send him back for a second term.
This is the unifying national agenda that will bring our country together. So tonight I say to all Americans, this is the most important election in the history of our country. There has never been such a difference between 2 parties or 2 individuals in ideology, philosophy, or vision than there is right now. Our opponents believe that America is a depraved nation. We want our sons and daughters to know the truth. America is the greatest and most exceptional nation in the history of the world.
The final night of the Republican National Convention, also featuring Trump's daughter and senior advisor, Ivanka Trump.
4 years ago, I introduced to you a builder, an entrepreneur, an outsider, and the people's nominee for President of the United States. Tonight, I stand before you as the proud daughter of the people's president.
There were also several GOP leaders on Capitol Hill who spoke last night, including Senator Tom Cotton.
Good evening. I'm Senator Tom Cotton. A lot's changed in 4 years. Back then, we gathered in a rowdy arena. Tonight, you're probably at home, while I stand alone. Stands alone. That was the motto of my old Army unit, the 506th Infantry, the original band of brothers. From the Normandy beaches to the Iraqi desert, we fought alongside each other, but we were always prepared to stand alone. And so it is with our nation. We lead the free world, but we'll stand alone if we must to defend America. Donald Trump understands this. He puts America first. That's why America is safer now than 4 years ago.
But clearly, last night belonged to the president.
And I say very modestly that I have done more for the African American community than any president since Abraham Lincoln, our first Republican president. And I have done more in 3 years for the black community than Joe Biden has done in 47 years. And when I'm reelected, the best is yet to come.
And as you just heard, the nearly 70-minute long speech, there was no shortage, rather, of attacks on his opponent, Vice President Joe Biden. Here's another.
Joe Biden is not a savior of America's soul. He is the destroyer of America's jobs, and if given the chance, he will be the destroyer of American greatness. For 47 years, Joe Biden took the donations of blue-collar workers, gave them hugs and even kisses, and told them he felt their pain. And then he flew back to Washington and voted to ship our jobs to China and many other distant lands. Joe Biden spent his entire career outsourcing their dreams and the dreams of American workers, offshoring their jobs, opening their borders, and sending their sons and daughters to fight in endless foreign wars that never ended.
And the president asking voters this very poignant question.
At the Democrat National Convention, Joe Biden and his party repeatedly assailed America as a land of racial, economic, and social injustice. So tonight I ask you a simple question. How can the Democrat Party ask to lead our country when it spends so much time tearing down our country?
Meanwhile, just outside the White House gates, demonstrators gathered in D.C. as President Trump accepted his party's nomination at the White House. The protesters marched along the Black Lives Matter Plaza toward Lafayette Park, carrying anti-Trump and Black Lives Matter's banners and signs. They blared music, as we predicted, and foghorns and banged tambourines while the president gave his speech on the South Lawn just a few blocks away. Trump spoke before an audience, as you could see, quite a large audience of more than 1,500 people, few wearing masks, as you saw, to protect against COVID-19. And now that the RNC is officially in the books, President Trump is back at it on the campaign trail. And we here at America's Voice News have you covered when it comes to that. The president plans to hold a rally at an airport hangar in New Hampshire today. Aides tell America's Voice News that they plan to hold several more campaign stops, in fact, in the weeks ahead. However, when it comes to this particular weekend, the president plans to visit the Gulf Coast and tour the damage caused by Hurricane Laura. We're going to head out to New Hampshire here in just a bit to check in with our team on the ground as we prepare to bring you complete live coverage of the president's rally later today. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some other news. The extradition hearing that was scheduled for a teenage suspect in this week's deadly shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, will now happen, and he'll appear in court September 29th. Kyle Rittenhouse requested to waive his presence today so that he could have more time to hire his own legal team. The 17-year-old faces numerous homicide charges after a shooting incident that ended with 2 people dead and another severely injured. Rittenhouse's attack happened during protests calling for justice after the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back, is paralyzed, according to his family. Health experts forecast thousands of more lives could be lost during this pandemic. As we stand now, more than 180,000 people have died from the coronavirus in the U.S. That number comes from data compiled by Johns Hopkins University. By September 19th, which is just a few weeks away, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention believes more than 200,000 people will have died from contracting the virus. That's thousands of more deaths, just so you know, than the CDC projected just last week. Health officials in California shut down a poultry plant because of coronavirus. So far, more than 350,000 employees at the Foster Farms facility in Livingston have tested positive for COVID-19. 8 have died. The outbreak started at the end of June. Mercer County says it issued 2 formal directives to the company to increase testing and implement safety measures, but they said those orders weren't followed. The plant now must remain closed until the outbreak is under control and it can reopen safely. Foster Farms has not responded yet with a comment. Taking a look now at world news, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will step down, citing health reasons. The long-serving leader made that announcement during a news conference today. Abe has battled ulcerative colitis, an inflammatory bowel disease, for years now. 2 recent hospital visits prompted speculation about his future. The prime minister term was set to expire in September of next year. So we have a lot more to come here on America's Voice News. Still to come, your voice. We want to hear what you had to say about the RNC and the DNC. We're going to share some of your comments and videos coming up. Plus, we're going to get an update on the rally. Again, we're going to have live team coverage right here on America's Voice. We're going to take you out there live to New Hampshire. We'll be right back.
The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. MicroTouch Solo, the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro-precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full-body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard. And keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The ULTRAFLEX pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors. You've got to go solo. Call 1-800-709-9777 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new MicroTouch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha.
The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness.
During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark.
Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close.
Call or click now and get Night Hero Binoculars with laser illumination technology for just $39.99. You'll also get a protective carrying case, yours free. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling Atomic Beam flashlight, just pay separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-788-1008. That's 1-800-788-1008. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
And welcome back to News On. I'm Miranda Kahn. As promised, as we mentioned earlier, the president is planning to hit the campaign trail again, making a stop in New Hampshire, and that's where America's Voice contributor Heather Mullins joins us live. You guys were actually camped out there last night when we were doing our coverage of the final night of the Republican National Convention. Heather, I know you live in New Hampshire. You know the area very well. Not Steve Gruber, David Zier, I wanted to say. Steve Gruber we have coming up a little bit later, but David Zier was there last night giving us a live report, and there were people already camped out. Can you kind of give us an assessment of the energy that you're seeing there? Because I can see crowds of people right behind you.
Yeah, Miranda, like all of Trump's rallies, there's always people camping out the night before. As you saw last night, people were here, rain, snow, sleet, burning hot sunshine. People are always willing to do whatever it takes to come hear the president speak, including us as correspondents. I mean, we've covered all of President Trump's rallies. We've stood out here to bring you guys the real news, and we're here today. This is the first rally, really. I mean, we had the Tulsa rally a couple months back, right? So where we saw they were doing the temperature checks, they were handing out masks. Currently, there is a mask mandate in New Hampshire for groups over 100. There's a lot of people not wearing masks here. People are pretty spread out. They do have the tent you can see see behind me where they are taking temperatures, they are giving out masks, giving out hand sanitizer. Inside, there's hand sanitizer all over the venue. And so I think it was really great that they chose to do it outside, sort of to accommodate the people that are still a little nervous about the coronavirus and want that space to kind of social distance. So good on the administration for doing that. The energy here, like always, people are cheering. Last night when the president was giving his acceptance speech, there was nothing but cheers. They had it playing on the Jumbotron, and you know, people are just ready to get back to normal. And I think this rally is going to be that little glimpse of hope that we need to get the campaign fired up and bring in a win in November.
How many people would you estimate are there right now? Because there was quite, a crowd there last night listening to the president's speech. It was estimated about 1,500 people were in attendance. Do you have any inclination as to how many tickets were given for this event today?
I have no idea. I mean, there's people all over the place in groups right now, so there's still people sort of like separating in their own little individual groups, and they're taking their time filtering people into the actual line. So I know what a lot of people are actually doing is they're busing people in from the hotels. So there's no immediate parking here. So what people are having to do is there's shuttle buses that are busing people in from the different hotels around the city. So it's kind of hard to gauge right now. And we know that at the Tulsa, Oklahoma rally, we saw people like AOC, you know, these crazy people on the left that were actually encouraging people that didn't plan on coming to the rally to go and sign up for tickets to throw off the campaign so that they tried to accommodate for more people than were really coming out. And that's sort of the tactics and the games the left likes to play. But, you know, here, when we're surrounded by this kind of patriotism, no matter what's going on in the country, good or bad, these kinds of rallies bring people together. So I encourage anyone, you know, that may or may not be receptive to the president just yet because you've been watching too much fake news media, to really come down to one of these rallies. Come listen to what he has to say, not what the fake news media has to say, and make a decision for yourself, because you will not come here to one of these rallies and find anyone disrespecting you. If you come here, you're going to be met and received with respect, love for this country, and, you know, just the will to come together.
Heather, can you kind of give us a breakdown as far as what we can expect? I mean, I know we here at America's Voice News are going to be covering this. Tudor Dixon's going to be joining us for live coverage beginning at 5:30 Eastern time. But give us a kind of just a rundown. I know this is at an airport hangar. Can you kind of describe the area, what you're seeing, what the weather's like, and what we can expect throughout the day?
So the weather here is actually beautiful. What a great day to have the rally here. It's t-shirt weather. I know last time we tried to have the rally in Portsmouth, it got rained out, bummer, but we're here today. I think we're going to expect a great message from President Trump to the voters of New Hampshire. We know that back in 2016, he narrowly lost the state. And so, like, when I mean narrowly, I think it was like less than 1,000 votes. You can fact check me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but it was very narrow. I do know that. And since then, though, we've had 3.5 years of the president doing good for this country. And so there's not the skepticism that maybe people had about him in New Hampshire back in 2016, right? It was sort of, we didn't know what to expect, how he was going to do. Now we've seen after 3.5 years, he had the unemployment at an all-time low, the stock market at an all-time high. He created opportunity zones. He overhauled the VA. He's done so much for America and has the track record now to go along with it. So I think this year, this election, he's going to take New Hampshire.
So talking to some of the residents that are there, looking forward to hearing from the president, I'm sure you've gotten a chance to speak with several of them. What are they telling you? What are they hoping to hear from the president? What did they think of the RNC? And have you talked to any undecided voters?
So I haven't heard of any undecided voters just yet. I know there was one single lone protester with a sign that said Black Lives Matter. I mean, and you know, we understand why people like that come out. They watch the fake news. They're convinced he's this terrible, awful person. And we're hoping that if people do come out like that we're going to meet them with respect. We're going to counter them with the facts. And eventually they're going to see they should want President Trump as well for their own best interests, because he's what's best for this country. Now, we spoke to several people last night who is basically saying they want not 4 more years, but 4 more terms of President Trump, which we know can't happen because we have laws that, we have term limits and that sort of thing. But people love him so much, they wish he could stay for longer than another 4 years.
Was there anything that struck people personally when it came to last night's RNC finale? Excuse me. Excuse me there. Got all choked up.
So anything that really stuck out last night? I mean, I think
because you were talking to some of the people that were watching it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue, Heather.
I mean, I think everyone was really moved too by his tribute to his brother that recently passed away. And, he thanked his wife, he thanked his family and his children and grandchildren. So I think that really spoke to a lot of people. Everyone here is just really excited to hear him speak tonight, because we've really gone through a lot with this whole pandemic. And I think the fact that this rally is sort of the first step outside of the gates to try to bring patriotism and the campaign trail back to America and really just bring people together.
And what else are you hearing from people there? Because again, the president is anticipated to speak when exactly?
So he's scheduled to speak around 6 o'clock. So I know that he's really busy right now. We have the hurricane that just happened. FEMA's getting involved. So he's got a lot on his plate right now. He is scheduled to speak here at 6 p.m. And I'm sure he's going to have a whole list of things that he's going to go over. And, we've talked to some people on the campaign. We're hoping that these rallies are going to start picking up again, and that this is sort of like the first sort of test balloon, right? There's still a lot of people nervous about the whole pandemic, and rightfully so. When you have networks like CNN and MSNBC and all these big networks that are constantly filling people with inaccurate information, to say the least. Not only that, Biden, Kamala Harris, I mean, they're constantly publishing false information, making false attacks, blaming President Trump, right, for the state of the country right now, when we know it's these Democrat governors that are shutting down their economies, their businesses, telling them, no, you can't go to work because you're not essential. That's not President Trump's doing. But yet Kamala Harris will tweet out that, President Trump is the reason that all these businesses are getting shut down and all these people can't go back to work. That's factually not true. And so this is
Heather,
why it's so important for President Trump.
Right. Obviously, you're a conservative commentator, but I did want to get your take, if you've been able to talk to anybody. Something that kind of broke today, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi saying that she doesn't think that Vice President Joe Biden should have any debate with President Trump. Has anybody there that you've run into at the rally mentioned anything like that? Would they like to see a debate? Do they think it's likely to happen?
Oh, I mean, I think everybody here would love to see President Donald Trump slay Joe Biden in a debate, but I think we all know that is not going to happen. I mean, they have kept him out of the media. This guy is running for president of the United States during a pandemic, and he's given so little commentary. I mean, that's not an accident. Anybody else running for president would not miss a beat to get out there to speak to truth to what they're going to do if elected, but this guy has been kept completely out of the spotlight. And we know if they decide not to have a debate, it's not going to be because of coronavirus, because we can have debates virtually through Zoom. You don't have to be anywhere near anyone, and you can still have a conversation. That's what life is like in 2020. So we'll see.
I'm going to have to leave it there. Heather Mullins, thank you so much for that live report. Again, reporting live in New Hampshire, where the president is going to be doing a rally there. He's expected to speak, as you heard from Heather, at 6 o'clock Eastern time. You can tune in to America's Voice for live coverage beginning at 5:30 Eastern time. Please stay with us. There is still much more to come on News On, including your voice. We want to hear what you thought about the DNC and the RNC. We'll be right back.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, They wear CopperFit Advanced Back Pro. CopperFit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like CopperFit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up. A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with CopperFit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
CopperFit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-944-5851. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
CopperFit, live limitless.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
My Pillow Topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
Call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
And welcome back to News On. I'm Miranda Kahn. I'd now like to welcome in our panel. Joining us now, we have Steve Gruber, which you can catch right here on America's Voice. Nice to see you again, Steve.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Also with us, former U.S. Representative Dave Bratt. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us here on News On. We have a lot of ground to cover. We just wrapped up the Republican National Convention. The president on his way to New Hampshire, as we just heard from Heather Mullins giving us a live report from there at an airport hangar. And then the president is also expected to survey the damage that took place in Louisiana and Texas over the weekend. So busy couple days. Let's begin, though, Steve, with last night. The president delivered around a 70-minute long speech last night. A lot of keynote speakers there. What stood out to you the most?
I think the president speaking for 70 minutes was a nice compare and contrast to Joe Biden, who spoke for, I think, 22 minutes during the Democratic National Convention the week before. A lot of talk, as I've heard you mention earlier on the program, Miranda, about whether or not there will be debates, how Joe Biden is going to do on the campaign trail. Let's be honest. Joe Biden has nothing on his schedule, not for the next several days. He's not going anywhere. Apparently, he's going to try really hard to carry the state of Delaware as he goes back and forth between his 2 homes there. Other than that, I don't know what he's doing. The fact of the matter is, Joe Biden spoke for 22 minutes. The president spoke for an hour and 10, talking about national security, law and order, destroying ISIS, bringing safety back to the streets of America. Quite honestly, looking at new polling now from the Trafalgar Group that got basically everything right in 2016, brand new polling out of Michigan shows the president ahead by 1.5 points in Michigan. This is pre-Republican National Convention and after the Democratic National Convention, leading in Wisconsin by 1 percentage point. And this happened before Kenosha took over the headlines and the rioting and the chaos in the streets, and tied in Minnesota. Can you imagine that the Biden campaign is spending money right now to advertise in Minnesota. And Donald Trump went there during the DNC, as you remember, to Minnetonka, I think was the town that he stopped in Minnesota. If Donald Trump is campaigning there and the Biden campaign is spending money there, that's a pretty good indication there's trouble in the Biden camp. And they can tell themselves all they want. They can hide in the basement. But this president goes from a 70-minute speech to New Hampshire, where he'll be a little bit later today for a rally. And, you know, his stamina, his leadership. I guess the message is, even if you don't like the guy, the policies are better than being a socialist.
There you have it. Now, let me ask you this, though. Is it a smart move for the president to go to New Hampshire and again, in lieu of this devastating storm that hit especially Lake Charles, where I used to live and work? I worked for KPLC there as an anchor, and seeing the devastation just blew me away. And I've covered several hurricanes. Is he making the right move by going to New Hampshire and opting to survey the damage until this weekend, in your opinion, Steve?
As a general rule, the presidents don't go to natural disasters of great magnitude anyway. They stay back until they determine the area is safe. And listen, in all honesty, Laura was a monster storm, a Cat 4 when it came on shore with 150-mile-per-hour sustained winds. 6 fatalities the last time I looked. In Louisiana, only no fatalities in Texas. In fact, I think it's safe to say that Louisiana's been through this before. You know that. You're from Lake Charles. You've been there. I've been to Lake Charles a number of times. Good city. But they've been hit like this before. They will recover. And in fact, I think it's safe to say they dodged a bullet in a way. They didn't get 25 inches of rain. They got 6. The damage could have been significantly worse. So I think the president is doing the right thing. New Hampshire, ironically, the president only lost New Hampshire by 2,700 votes in 2016. And what is really remarkable about that figure is that New Hampshire allows same-day registration. So the Granite State had over 7,000 people register that didn't follow the rules afterwards. What I mean by that is when you register to vote in New Hampshire same day, you are supposed to, within 90 days, get a driver's license, get a permanent address, do a series of things that make you a resident. 7,000 people didn't do that. The margin of victory for Hillary Clinton in 2016 was 2,700 votes. It makes you go, did he really lose New Hampshire, or was there some gaming going on? I think it's a fair question to ask.
You're thinking there's something sinister going on. Representative Brad, I want to bring you into the conversation. You've obviously a Republican. I'm sure you were watching the RNC very intently. What were some of your key takeaway moments from last night, or just any of the 4 nights?
Yeah, well, just to contrast, just what Steve was saying, just the energy differential is huge. Just having people present, and then the left is kind of making fun, saying you couldn't get any Hollywood elites there. And the Trump team's like, are you kidding me? I mean, they're just tone deaf. And then I think the biggest part is people are finally starting to tune in a little bit, right? It's election time. And the big news here, I think, is everybody at CNN, MSNBC, and all their folks finally got to see some of the coverage of Trump and their team and the spokespeople they had lined up, and the news. And you got riots, in Wisconsin and in D.C., and Rand Paul couldn't get out of the place. And you just start putting that whole narrative together with China, Beijing, Joe Biden, and then the economic downturn, and are the Democrats going to bring it out? And all the crime is in down ticket, Democrat states with governors and cities that aren't doing the job. And boy, it's I think Steve was right. The polls were moving, and they're going to keep moving.
Let me ask you, especially as a dean of Liberty University School of Business, the president spent a lot of time hammering away at China, and in particular saying that, a vote for Biden was a vote for China. Was that the right move to make?
Oh, yeah. I don't think you can overstate that. They sent us the virus, the evidence in on that. Dr. Yan over there from China has been over here. I said this thing was at least manipulated in a lab. It's a gun with a missile attached. They allowed 400,000 folks to fly outside to leave China to go to Milan, Europe, New York City, San Francisco, as they entirely closed down all flights in China out of Wuhan into Beijing. So that's the cause. 6 months ago, we were all going to church and going to sports events and enjoying life. And now we're not. And it's because of China. And so, I mean, you cannot overplay that one. And then all the supply chains are coming back, and you got the whole business aspect too, right? All of our pharmaceutical drugs are made over there. The prescription RX book is outstanding. And I got a book over my shoulder here. You know, everybody needs to read, you know, Deceiving the Sky by Bill Gertz and some other guys that have just nailed it for 20 years. But Trump's the first president in 40 years that's gone after him on behalf of our middle class. Everybody else, including my own party, the establishment, could not resist 10% GDP growth and all the profits that go with that in China. They couldn't withstand it. And it was terrible for this country.
Well, the president seemed to give a more definitive timeline as to when a vaccine could come out for COVID-19. Of course, this comes the night before. Where just today, now the CDC is saying that, you know, the numbers could get increasingly worse. How likely do you think it is that we're going to see a vaccine for COVID-19? Again, this is the president's words, before the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the other remedies probably have a higher probability of happening. A vaccine itself, that's a tough one, right? And if you listen to the manipulation of the virus, right, off the old COVID kind of chemistry or whatever, bio, it's going to be very complex. Even a vaccine, if it is developed, will, you know, cover 25% of the piece of it, right? So it's, you know, still 70% left exposed. And that it's just very hard to be the president. You're in charge after China sends it to us. So everyone says this is Trump's fault. And that's why he's got to establish that all the recent unpleasantness is due to China. And if he can hit that one right, he wins in a landslide, because there's no magic bullet. You can test all you want. That doesn't make virus go away either.
No, we'll have to see what comes in the days ahead. Again, if we're going to see some actual debates. Again, Vice President Joe Biden saying that despite what Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi said, he does want to debate the president. Again, you're going to want to keep it right here on America's Voice. We're going to give you live coverage of the president's rally that's taking place in New Hampshire. That coverage begins at 5:30 Eastern time. We have live team coverage. You just saw Heather Mullins there. We'll also have David Zier joining us as well as Tudor Dixon, again, beginning at 5:30 Eastern time. Thank you so much, Congressman Bratt. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And Steve Groover, before we let you go, can you please tell our viewers when and what they can expect to see on your next show here on America's Voice News?
Well, actually, we're going to have Robert Cahaley from Trafalgar Group, who has that new polling showing the president leading in Michigan and Wisconsin, tied in Minnesota. And, you know, I know that Congressman Bratt knows what it's like to win an election in an uphill battle, because he is a giant slayer. He did that. Of course, he's a Michigan man. Why wouldn't he be a giant slayer? It's where he hails from, right? He's a guy who knows how to get things done. I mean, come on, Miranda, all the best people in the world come from Michigan. No offense. But as you look at the polling, it happens. And looking at the polling, I think that Donald Trump is in a very good position. And as much as we talk about China, the real thing is people across the country are not going to vote to be Kenosha, Wisconsin. They're not. They're looking at what's happening there. Ordinary people want nothing to do with that going forward. Expect to hear a lot about that tonight in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And that might be why we've been seeing the Democrats starting to condemn that now on television. Thank you both for joining us here on America's Voice News. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thanks.
There is still more to come here on News On. Of course, the big thing we're going to hear is your voice. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life. They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow, and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
My pillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
Call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
And welcome back to News On. I'm Miranda Khan. As we've been mentioning throughout the show, we here at America's Voice Live, we're going to give you live team coverage of the president's campaign stop. He's holding a rally in New Hampshire today. There has been a crowd lined up as early as yesterday, and that's where we want to go to David Zier, host of Breaking Point, which you can catch right here on America's Voice. Did you get any sleep last night, David?
Hi, Miranda. We're outside here at Manchester Regional Airport in Boston. There's a couple of thousand people here, I think. I don't know what the capacity inside is, but this is really exciting. You know, Trump only lost by 2,700 votes in the last 2016 presidential election in New Hampshire, and it could be a tiebreaker state, you know, for the president in this election. I think he's going to take it, because whenever we come to rallies up here, and this is our 4th trip to New Hampshire, it's like 20-25% Democrats and independents. So, you know, he just lost by a plurality to Hillary in 2016. I think he could take it back.
So you mentioned independence there. New Hampshire, obviously a key state, otherwise the president wouldn't be there. One of those battleground states. We see the crowd there behind you. They look very energized, happy to be here on America's Voice News. Have you had a chance to speak to any of those independent voters? And have they told you whether or not the president has swayed their opinion?
100%. You know, and it's funny, every small business that I go to up here, they're Trump supporters. So I think there's a sea change in the thought up here. And we have some special guests with us here and some people from the crowd. Do you want me to bring them on camera?
I would love for you to bring them on. Let's do it.
Dr. Shiva. Everybody knows Dr. Shiva. He's running for U.S. Senate in Massachusetts, right? And you have a September 1st primary. You've been really outspoken about what's going on, and you're, you know, COVID, taking down statues in Boston. Harvard University and MIT, they're like the two, and you're saying that's like the brains and the operations center in America for liberalism, right? So that's where the real movement.
Harvard, yeah, particularly Harvard University is the center of the deep state. You know, thought precedes actions. These are the people creating the fake science policies, which is the fear-mongering that got created around COVID, but they're also the people who perpetuate racism. They're the ones who create division. They're the ones who are incentivizing people people like BLM to go take down these statues, which has nothing to do with ever resolving racism.
Yeah, and Harvard's trying to take down the Columbus statue, the Lincoln statue, right? So this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the liberal elite, the aristocracy's home is Harvard University. They're the ones directing all of they're the think tank behind organizations like BM and the liberal elite. And what they want to do is they don't want to ever address the real issues of racism, which is building infrastructure.
Well,
which is supporting the cities. And that's where you saw racism. Instead, they want to unleash division among poor blacks and poor whites and working people.
Well, we know that's the agenda. I'm from New York, so we're second place to Massachusetts.
I grew up in Jersey, yeah.
So anyway, the coronavirus numbers are going down nationwide. Your governor here, just south of New Hampshire in Massachusetts, has a very strict lockdown going. Do you see him easing up soon?
No, listen, Charlie Baker is basically part of the deep state establishment. He supports his Democrat friends in every election. He never wants real people to run against his Democrat friends. He always puts a designated loser. They've got a problem this time because, you know, just like President Trump was the only one who could have defeated Hillary Clinton, I'm the only one in Massachusetts who can defeat Markey or Kennedy. And so we built a bottoms-up movement. And what Baker's trying to do is he's trying to do the fear-mongering technique. He's using COVID as a way to not address the real issues in Massachusetts. Massachusetts got an F minus in infrastructure. Instead of addressing that, you scare and you destroy small businesses, you keep it locked down, so you don't have to address the real issues.
Yeah, there's never really been a conservative governor of Massachusetts. Dr. Shiva, we want to thank you so much for coming on.
Anyway, this is a great showing here. We have the #1 president in the world right now, I'm in this country, because he's the only one who can take on the establishment. And the fact that all of these people are out here in fellowship with the beautiful sun, that's how we boost the immune system. That's how we create strong immunity. And September 1st is the primary. Everyone's got to get out on September 1st. We got to win. 2020 is a decision point in this country, whether we go to freedom or slavery. Yeah, and I'm so happy that President Trump came out here to New Hampshire.
We appreciate your energy and keep up the fight, and we'll have you back on America's Voice News.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. So do we want to bring on Garrett here?
Yes. Yeah, let's do
we
it.
have Garrett. Garrett, you served in the United States Marine Corps. You're a veteran. Thank you for serving your country.
My pleasure. Hey, God bless America.
Where are you from?
I'm from Wolfboro, New Hampshire.
All right, good. So what's going on up here? There's a lot of patriots up here.
There's a lot of patriots out here. They all understand that this is God's country here right now.
Yeah.
God bless America. That's all it is.
Well, that's great. So what do you think? New Hampshire, I noticed they're not as strict as Massachusetts with the lockdown. I was in Planet Fitness this morning, and I didn't have to wear a mask.
So here's my thing. If you're going to live in fear of something that has a 99.9% of survival rate, you might as well already be dead. If you think you have COVID, don't visit your grandparents for about a week or so, and you're 2 weeks. 2 weeks, just be safe. You'll be fine. You're fine. COVID is the flu. It's literally
So we got hit hard in the Northeast, but these southern states have been open since May 1st, and they have about a fifth of the deaths of New York and Massachusetts. Tell us about what did you think of Trump's speech last night, and what did you think about the RNC convention versus the DNC?
So I didn't catch the most of it, but I will say this. At the end of the day, coronavirus is the flu. And that is literally, America should open up and not care about anything about that, because why live your life in fear of something with a 99.9% survival rate? You're in no risk as a young human being. Don't visit your grandparents for about 2 weeks and you're fine. That's all it is.
Yeah, so Miranda, do you want to ask Garrett a question?
I did, and you kind of asked it. You know, I was just curious. Obviously, we had the finale of the RNC, but if you could ask Garrett why he's there today, what he hopes to hear from the president in New Hampshire today.
Yeah, so Garrett, Miranda wants to know why you're here today and what brought you out to the rally, and why does this mean a lot to you?
Because Donald Trump is the man of the people, and we all came out here because we're all red-blooded Americans, and God bless America, baby. That's all it is.
All right, Garrett, you're really great, so thank you so much for joining us.
God bless America.
And we'll see you soon. We'll see you inside, all right, bro?
Absolutely.
Thanks for serving, man.
Service.
And then we just got, Miranda, thanks you for your service also. So we have one more guest, Al.
Sure.
Really quick, we'll bring Alan. Al's from Massachusetts, right?
Al Chilella, yeah.
Al Chilella?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why are you out here?
I love Donald Trump. He's the only president that ever spoke so much about God and he says it's okay to say Merry Christmas. It's okay to say God bless you.
So the Democrats took God out of the Pledge of Allegiance during the DNC convention, right?
Are you surprised?
No.
No. What they're doing is trying to destroy America. And what is Donald Trump doing? Building up America. And the whole idea is to make America great again.
So you were active with Promise Keepers back when they were filling up stadiums, under Obama, when people were told, they're bad for being good. Like, we're tired of being told we're bad for being good people, right?
Exactly. I mean, I accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and I actually had a radio program for men 13 years, and I had the privilege of going to the first Promise Keeper event, 50,000 men in Boulder, Colorado, the University of Colorado, with my dad, and we'd never been away before.
So do you think that's what's attracting people out here today?
Is God attracting people?
Do you think the fact that Trump is, he's a very pro-life president? They don't shy away from religion and God and encourage people for that spiritual side of their life, right?
And that's how this country was founded, by people who love God.
Right.
Anything wrong with that?
No, nothing's wrong with that. Al, we want to thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And Miranda, back to you in the studio.
Great interview. It's so great to hear from all of you. Looking forward to today's rally. Again, we're going to have live team coverage. You just saw David Zier. He'll be joining us as well as Heather Mullins and Tudor Dixon live from New Hampshire. The president, again, expected to speak at 6 o'clock Eastern time. We'll, of course, bring you live coverage beginning at 5:30 Eastern time. Still to come, the most important segment of the day, and that is where we give you, our viewers, a voice. We'll be right back.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly beating?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear CopperFit Advanced Back Pro. CopperFit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like CopperFit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up.
A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with CopperFit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
CopperFit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-944-5851. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
CopperFit, live limitless.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
And welcome back to News On. I'm Miranda Khan. As always, we want to hear what you think. And here on News On, we give you a platform to let your voice be heard. And we begin this afternoon with Paul Sams, who posted this on Facebook, who thinks both the Dems and the Republicans lost. It appears Mr. Sams also did not appreciate it. He felt that the RNC pushed a message that conformed, in his opinion, to a pre-described notion of what minorities can achieve if they follow them. Paul Sams, thank you so much for your comment. You can always keep them coming by joining our community at americasvoice.news and letting your voice be heard. Let us know what you think about the rally. Again, we're going to have live coverage of that beginning at 5:30 Eastern Time right here on America's Voice. We leave you now with something red fitting. It's National Red Wine Day. So enjoy your Friday night as you're sitting here watching America's Voice with your glass of red wine. Red Wine Day started back in 2014, and there are many ways to celebrate. For some, August 28th is a perfect day to open that Cabernet Sauvignon. The Cab comes from the mostly widely planted grape in the world. California's version of the grape is said to be fruit forward, in case you didn't know. That will do it for this edition of News On. Have a great weekend. I'll see you back here at 5:30 Eastern Time.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life. They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started